Here's a different approach to pedal order
that will make you think again. Hey everyone, welcome to That Pedal Show. Dan here.
Mick here, hello and welcome. Please subscribe. Please do that. And go to That Pedal Show store and buy merch. That's the primary way we fund this show. Thank you very much.
Fabulous. Okay, so what we're doing today is we're looking at what we call the understood, what is the normal pedal order that people say this is the correct way.
Accepted
the
standard.
Accepted standard, and we're flipping it. We're turning it on its head.
Dan came in and he said, I've had this revelation about a couple of things. And I said, okay, then what are you talking about? He explained it. So let's do a show on it. We're going to demonstrate it with 5 things.
Yeah. 5 things.
What are those 5 things?
So first thing is wah placement. Where that goes in the pedal chain, and it's...
Because most people put it first.
Most people put it first. So
okay.
this is fascinating.
And
the next thing is compression, about the modern way that people use compressors.
Because again,
most people put it first. I think there's a much better place to put it. Chorus pedals, modulation pedals in general, but chorus pedals. This is what got me going, actually.
Okay.
Because we had an experience day, a young gentleman came in, and I'm like, what do you got going on there? And he said, all those shows that you did that said, just experiment and stuff. Well, I experimented.
Awesome. So the normal place for chorus is after your overdrive, before your wet effects. So we're going to change that.
We are indeed.
What's that? 3? What's 4?
4 is where your phaser goes.
Right.
Right. And the last one is where your delay goes.
Okay. Because we would normally accept delay to be at
Right
the end before reverb.
Yeah.
All right. And why are we doing this?
If all you do is play with what is the accepted order, there's a world of noises that you're going to be missing out on.
Yeah.
The way that we're doing it, a lot of the effects that we're going to use are going to be set up in quite an extreme setting, certainly to start with, so that you can really hear the difference.
So you can really hear it.
Yeah. And once this gets through YouTube and everything, we want you to, because we'll be sitting here going, oh my God, it's amazing. And you'll go, I can't hear anything. So we'll set them quite extreme so that you can really hear the difference. Forget about all the switcher and all the gubbins on the bottom. Just have a look at the pedals on top. This is what would be an accepted pedal order. So the guitar would go into the wah, and then first thing into the compressor, into your gain stages, then into your modulation effects, and then finally delay and reverb. And if you saw that pedal order on a pedal board, you'd go, that is correct.
All those articles I wrote in guitar magazines for nearly 20 years going, what order should you put your pedals in? It was basically that.
Exactly.
And that, that's not only is it the accepted standard order, it's the place to start.
Agreed.
And as you can see,
exactly that. We've got that in G3. It's the same order.
On the top row.
On the top row. On the bottom row, each of those buttons has got a hidden preset that when I press it will flip the order.
Okay.
So you see here where it says wah. Michael, if you just touch that again, so this is the wah and the arrow pointing that way. So now press it again, and now it's got the arrow pointing into the wah. Right, so let's start with the wah.
So that means wah at the beginning.
Wah at the beginning.
That means wah at the end.
Exactly.
Okay. And right. just in case you don't know, G3 is able to change the order of all of these effects internally so that we don't have to unplug stuff and swap it all around. I'll make sure that the on-screen graphics are absolutely clear so you fully understand the pedal order.
Yes. So what I want to start with, let's get a sound up that uses overdrive and some delay. And then we'll kick the wah on. And then you can do the gubbins.
Well, at least it's not 18 inches off the ground or anything.
Exactly. And then once you've got that sound, we'll switch the order.
Okay.
And we'll put the wah right at the end.
All right. Right. Amps today.
I wonder what the settings are.
Victory V140 Super Duchess on a 112 cab with a WGS 12L speaker and a Marshall 1987 X 50-watt reissue plexi on a 212 cab with a Celestion G12 65 and a WGS 65T, maybe.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Full information in the description. Okay.
How cool is that?
So the learning point from that is if you want your wah-wah insanely more pronounced, then put it at the end. So one thing I really noticed about that, when it was at the front of the chain, its effect was obviously fairly big. It's a wah-wah pedal, right? You're going to get a big effect. But the nature of the overdrive and the delay in particular stayed the same.
Yes.
As soon as we put the wah at the end, it ate the delay completely.
Mm-hmm.
So the effect of the delay was considerably less.
Yes.
And it just had a total game-changing effect all over the overdrive as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of logical, really, because it's at the end. It's the last thing.
So what happens is it becomes a master filter at the end. And if you think about sort of EDM and those big filter breaks that go and everything goes through.
Yeah, what do they call that? The drop?
The drop. Yeah. And by having the wire at the end, you can have as big sound as you like, but then you've got this master filter that everything goes through. Obviously, having it before the delay is great, but then for that super dramatic effect where you want everything closed down, it's so cool.
That explains why it eats the delay then.
Yes.
Because the delay is going along full frequency like that, and when you close the envelope of that wah-wah, it takes all the frequency away and you can't hear anything.
Exactly.
Well, you can only hear like
the delay in that filter's frequency.
Super bass, everything else is taken away.
So what I'll do, I'll play a little bit, but what I want you to do is do like a DJ drop where you just bring it in slowly, all right? Good, isn't it?
It's really effective.
Yeah, super effective.
There we go. So try your wah-wah at the beginning, at the end, and if you like, in the middle.
Very good. Okay, number 2.
Yeah.
Compression. What I find very interesting about the way modern guitar players use compressors is, okay, let's think about how we first were using compressors. The old Dynacomp and you know, the Ross compressor and these compressors that had a massive effect. So we'd put them at the start of the chain to really color everything and to give it all that that compression.
Yeah, to go on the beginning of the note.
Exactly. What happened was someone said, don't really like that. Can I put a mix control in it so that you have a bit of blended signal and then compression sort of mixed in? And when we're in the studio, especially in the recording phase, where do we put our compression?
Yeah, much further down. Well, sometimes you put it up front, but it is much more common to put it downstream a bit more.
Yeah, well, if you're miking the amp, it's going to be right at the very end.
Yeah.
So what happens when we take a modern compressor used in that way, and instead of having it at the start before everything, have it right at the end of everything? So it's a couple of ways to demonstrate this. First of all, let's get the modern thing happening, right? So that we can hear it. So here we go. This is with the compressor at the start of everything.
Do you want me to turn the blend down? Or dry down?
No, that's good. I think we get it quite nice, chunky. So you hear all that compression, but all that top is there.
Pretty compressy.
Pretty compressy. So now let's just try it into the overdrive. Okay, so we'll start with the D&M Drive on. What I'll get you to do, I'll play for a bit and then kick the compression on so that we can hear it. Oh, yeah.
Because it has a blend knob, I turn the dry signal down, or at least it has you can add in some dry, uncompressed signal. So I turn that down to give you the full effect of the compressor.
Yeah. So now what we'll do, we'll get that sound again, but then we'll just swap and put the compression after the overdrive.
Cool.
Okay? And have a listen to what happened. Yep. So what's really interesting about that is that when the compression is before the overdrive, it changes the attack into the overdrive, and you feel the initial attack, but then it comes back up, right? The difference with having the drive before the compression, it's much smoother. Now check out what happens when we put if I get some delay and overdrive,
Yeah,
and
right.
especially tremolo,
Yep.
this is fascinating. With the compression at the end, it evens things out. It's fascinating. So we'll get the compression, overdrive, delay, and trem going.
And then within that, we're going to move the compressor from the beginning to the end.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So this is with the compressor at the start. What I find really interesting about that is the tremolo.
Yeah.
With the compression at the end, when I dig in, it compresses and actually decreases the effect of the tremolo on the attack. And then as you let sustain, the tremolo sort of comes back up.
Surprise, surprise. It's kind of more mix ready with the compressor down the end.
Yes.
Because the tremolo is super choppy when it's at, and this is exactly what happened with the wah-wah, right? The wah-wah was eating the delay because it was closing it down frequency-wise. The compressor is eating the tremolo because it is closing it down amplitude-wise.
That's right. And the delay, you know, when you hit that spike, the delay goes bang, bang. The compressor at the end, it just keeps everything a little bit more controlled.
See, I think that could be really useful for all of those of you, of us, who are potentially struggling with volume a bit. It's the perennial guitar player's problem, especially at the moment. And perhaps if you employ a compressor further downstream, it can just take out some of those spikes. Now, that might not be what you want. It might be that takes away too much dynamic. But if you want to maintain, you know, avoid that spiky, you know, could be a good thing to do. And I definitely think it makes it more mix ready.
I agree.
I think it sits in a mix.
Isn't that interesting? Because that is
super interesting.
Yeah. It's like years ago when we saw Andy Timmons, the first video we did with him, he had his compression after his overdrives. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's really interesting. And then when I started getting the ideas for the show together, I'm like, oh, what would happen? And then I was like, wow.
Let's do that.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Number 3.
Yeah.
Chorus. So this is my old C2, which had a Keeley mod done to it back in the early days of Keeley.
Yeah.
And I love the sound of this chorus. Now I'm going to get quite a big, thick sounding chorus. Then I'm going to add some delay to it. All right. So standard, accepted order, chorus into delay.
Yeah. Overdrive, chorus, delay.
Yep. So I'm going to get a delay sound up that doesn't have a lot of modulation on it. You know what got me thinking about this? When we interviewed Johnny Marr.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And
Come on, we haven't done this for a long time.
And, you know, I'm like, oh, there's got to be... We learned so much from Johnny. What, you know, it was an amazing day. And then he pulled out his old Smith's pedal board. And I looked down at it and I'm like, the pedal order was all over the place. And one thing was that the chorus was after delay.
Wow.
Now, what's happening there? It's the same thing that happens with the wah pedal.
That's what I was hearing.
Yep.
It's more subtle this time.
It is more subtle, absolutely.
But the delay kind of gets lessened.
Yes. So with the chorus and the delay, you've got this chorus effect, and then it's chorus effect on chorus effect, and that can be cool. But with the chorus effect at the end, it's the same thing as the filter. Everything is going through a single chorus effect.
Yeah.
You know? So if I turn up the depth and turn the rate down, so it's even more subtle, I guess, but like slower.
Yep.
And then we'll do the same thing.
Tell you what's really interesting, which I wasn't expecting. The high end is absolutely maintained.
Yeah.
Like that lovely glassy buzzword, bright high end is there, but it's taken away some aggression in the upper mid range.
Yeah.
So it's taken away some of that, but keeping all that, which is very lovely. Again, I would argue more mix ready.
Yeah, exactly that. So
It'd be fascinating to hear this in a band, actually, just to see how subtle those you would be able to perceive it.
I actually think in a band context is where this stuff starts to really make sense.
Right.
Because, you know, after, you know, delays and reverbs, they're big time-based things. When you add modulation in front of that, the modulation is delayed and reverb. So you're getting all of those pitch changes sort of fighting against each other.
Yeah, it becomes mucky.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With it the other way, it's like
nice.
you've got one master pitch thing. Now, I'll quickly do the tremolo as well, because this is something that we sort of discovered
With delay, you mean?
with the delay a while ago.
People are often surprised when we talk about tremolo. It's like always after delay, always. But I still see, well, the vast majority of pedal boards I see, it's before.
Yeah.
Because
So-
you count it as a modulation, therefore it must come before your delay, right?
Exactly. Can you grab a guitar? Grab that sexy baritone.
I am going to, because you're talking about tremolo
Yes.
and delay. I'm thinking baritone it is. Darren and I recently did a baritone show, which probably went out before this. This is the West Valley, can't remember the name, I'll put it on screen now.
Right. So.
So what's interesting about that is, from the playing perspective, you're playing to the tempo of the tremolo, and then you kick the delay in, and all of a sudden, what we'll do in a sec is tap the delay to the same time as the trem, because I'm interested in what happens there.
Yep.
But what happens is the delay time throws you off completely. Once the tremolo is eating the delay, to continue our eating analogy, the tremolo still maintains the pace.
Yeah.
So you're not thrown off by it, and it doesn't get confused.
Yep. Now I turned the depth of the tremolo down at the end, because originally when I kicked the tremolo and I wanted you to be able to hear it.
Yeah.
All right. But then when I turned the depth down a little bit, the tremolo had this beautiful movement, but the delays were still there.
Yeah.
But the tremolo was the master effect.
Yeah.
The same way that when you take your pedal board and plug it into your amplifier and kick your tremolo on,
It's at the end.
it's at the end.
Yeah. We say that, Harmonious Monk, we do the Harmonious Monk with jam pedals, always at the end.
Always at the end.
Always at the end. Sometimes before reverb, but always after delay. Can we try that
With the
tap tempo?
tap tempo?
Stick some naughty on as well, because that will make it even messier.
Yeah, okay. So. Isn't that unreal?
I just want to keep going all day. That's the best sound. Yeah. So Dan said it. Eights. Which is always going to be slightly easier because the faster the delay, the easier it is past a certain point. What's really hard is slow delays.
Yeah.
So I said it at fours.
Yeah.
And you heard it get messier and messier, especially with the overdrive. Fascinating, mate. And I think for me, it closes. I mean, all of these others are to taste.
Yes.
For me, it closes the book on delay and tremolo. It's like tremolo
completely.
after delay.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah. Killer, man. Killer.
Awesome.
Is that 4?
That's 4.
Wow.
And so the last one, and we've done this before, but it bears repeating, where we put our delay. So the accepted wisdom is to put it at the end. And for most applications, I would say, yeah, it's great. But there's a couple of times when with your delay sound, dynamically, it can be really fun to flip the delay and put it before everything.
So are we talking predominantly overdrive here, or are we talking...
Yeah, but predominantly gain stages, right? And compression as well.
Yeah. Because we're not really talking about how to stack your overdrives in this episode. We've done that before a lot. So this isn't about that.
This is not about that. So again, with quite a bit of delay, we'll set it up in the conventional style with overdrive going into delay. Then I'm going to flip that order.
Great.
All right.
Go for it. I feel all airwolf, mate. That was killer. So what's happening?
So what's happening is, with the delay in front of the overdrive, when I dig in and the repeat gets louder, it pushes the overdrive. So the dynamics are from the delay pushing into the overdrive.
And this would be the same as if you use the delay into the front of your overdriven amp, where the conventional wisdom is to put it in the effects loop, right after the overdrive. Exactly the same after the overdrive.
That's it.
That's killer. So what it was making me think of is, not that I can play like him or anything, but I've picked up the Les Paul. It's Jimmy Page with the Echoplex in front of the Marshall, because it's so pronounced.
Yeah.
But so we'll just do exactly the same thing a minute, and let's see. Super out of control. Sorry to all the Jimmy Page fans. I have no idea.
But that's the chaos.
Yeah.
And and it has a completely different vibe. It's just so cool.
I love it. And for a little while there, I would have my slapback
in front,
pretty much at the front of the chain for that exact reason. Not for crazy delays like that, but because of the just as a final one on this, have a play down. I'll just set this delay to a slapback, and we'll see what that does. It's so cool.
That is tame in comparison.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
But it's especially cool with an analog delay.
It's especially cool with an analog delay, but with a digital delay, it's definitely a way of getting more vibe into it. So definitely one to try.
Yeah.
Definitely one to try. It's so cool.
I agree.
Okay. The last one I want to do is one of my favorites, and it's a phaser. So again, the standard accepted order is, wah, compression, overdrive, modulation effects into delay and reverb.
What about Mr. Van Halen? Where did he use his?
So let's think about Mr. Van Halen. How did he get his overdrive?
From his Marshall.
From his cranked to heavens Marshall.
So where was the phaser?
Where the phaser was plugged into the front of the Marshall.
Same as Hendrix and the Univibe. The Univibe often came after the fuzz, not always, often came after the fuzz, but what people forget is that it's going into an overdriven Marshall, which is one reason, slight tangent, but it's the same point. Robin Trower uses his Univibe before overdrive.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Anyway, so that's what we're dealing with here.
That's what we're dealing with. So in the same way that we're talking about putting in chorus at the end and using it as like a master filter, what we're going to do is have the phaser before the overdrive and using that to inform the gain stage to the frequency that's going into it. So we'll start with overdrive going into the phaser. I'm going to set up a nice slow phaser.
Okay.
Right?
I haven't played enough different guitars today, so in the spirit of let's keep going, for those of you who felt bereft by not playing this earlier.
Nice.
Nice. Make sure
Nice.
it's in tune.
Okay.
Okay, mate, go for it. Sorry.
So here we go. So this is with the overdrive into the phaser, and let's just make sure we've got a nice slow phaser. They just don't make them like that anymore. Anyway,
It's so 70s country, isn't it?
it's amazing. All right, and with the D&M drive going into the
Are you
phaser,
happy with the D&M drive settings?
let's have a listen. It's so good. It's so good.
It's quite loud.
Okay. There's so much more guitar.
That was so the effect of that was changing for me as it was going on. Like to begin with, where the phaser was after.
Yeah.
To continue that analogy again, and I think this is the takeaway from today's show:
Mm-hmm.
the pedal that's last, the pedal that's closest to the amp, is eating all the others.
It has the most effect. It's the final filter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the phaser is, I'm going to say obvious, but it's not obvious to everybody, is obviously much more pronounced when it's after the overdrive.
Yes.
However, it's pronounced in a different way when it's before the overdrive because it's pushing different frequencies in the overdrive.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is why it was sort of changing for me. So I was like, is it more pronounced before or after? But actually, definitely more pronounced after, but the frequencies that got pushed through the overdrive were more prominent.
That's exactly right. And because the overdrive is acting as a limiter, and it is softening those frequencies, but they're still pushed through the frequency range of the overdrive. What Eddie used to do is he'd have it even slower than that.
Right.
Right. And at any point, it just sounds amazing, but the sound very slowly, but just keeps changing.
Will it go slower?
Yeah.
Let me have a go. Down there somewhere?
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, I'm not going to try and play like Edward Van Halen. It's just not going to happen. Fundamentally significant effect on the mid-range.
Yeah.
Sounds much more rock
Very
with
much
it
so.
before the overdrive.
Yep.
Much more rock because
Yep.
all those mids come through. Whereas with it afterwards, you get the slightly fizzy. You might prefer it after if you were going to be doing like Ernie Isley.
Yeah, exactly that.
So
because
it's horses for courses,
completely.
For sure. Ah, that's fascinating.
Yeah. Isn't that fun?
Really, really fun. Yeah. So, you know, once again, if for those of you who've got like giant pedal boards with 58 pedals on and it's a real pain to move things around, you might be missing out on some of the fun of just being a bit more selective with a few pedals and really, really listening to what happens when you change the order.
Completely. It's one of those things, there's no substitution for doing the work. And the gentleman that was here, let's call him Steve. That's a nice name.
Steve Dave John.
Steve Dave John. And it just reminded me, it's like, you know, when we bang on about it, and I had done work up to a point when I was happy, but every now and then, it's like, let's challenge that and let's just see what happens. And I'm really glad I did because there's it's opened up a few things for me personally. It's like, very cool.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, yes. The pedal furthest down stream eats all the pedals before it.
That's right. And then spits out what it likes. There we go. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Massive thank you to anyone that's gone to thatpedalshowstore.com and grabbed some merchandise. It is the main way we fund the show.
Please do that. We ship all over the world. Well, predominantly all over the world. So please do that. Thank you massively to our patrons on Patreon.
Yes, thank you so
help us
much.
keep doing what we do. And also to our preferred retailers in the UK and Europe, Anderton's Music, and in Australia, Pedal Empire. In addition to that, if you click the description down, you'll see some links in there to various music stores around the world. If you buy stuff using those links, we get a kickback from that as well. And again, it helps us keep on the air.
Yes, fabulous. Join us on Monday, 5 p.m. for viewers' comments and questions. And let us know any light bulb moments that you've had with where you've placed your order of effects. That'd be brilliant.
Please don't post any questions about where should I put my fuzz and my wah-wah. We've done shows on that before. It's a nightmare. Maybe it's time to revisit in the future. Yes.
Yes, brilliant.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.